Okay. I heard something big in the woods. I think there's a deer. I think there's a deer. Yeah. Oh, they hear something too. Here's Princess. Double de Noirs, Ethereal, Sinfandel. Oh, we have two people here this evening. Thank you. Thank y'all to being here. Oh, there is a squirrel hopping around up there too. Uh, just waiting for people to come on. Uh, 3 people. Hello, everyone. Thank you all for being here. We have a different setting this evening. A very different setting for the live stream. Never done this before. I'm just trying out something. Well, I'm not trying. I'm trying it out for a reason, y'all. There's a reason I'm doing what I'm doing. Yep. Oh, 6 people. Please leave me a comment. Let me know who you are. Please. I'd love to speak with someone tonight. It's Lewis. Hey, Lewis. Thank you for being here. Lewis, this evening we are not at the watering hole. We're at the edge of the woods, at the field, my field. Uh, well, hello, user J91. Thank you for being here this evening. The dog is still running loose, Lewis. So my cats will not be eating up there at the road where that dog is. These cats are going to eat back here in the field. I'm just so angry, Lewis, that dog is allowed to roam free. I'm so angry. But there's nothing I can do about it. Hey, Cheryl. Hey, Cheryl, thank you for being here. A different setting this evening, Cheryl. I'm out here way away from the road where the dog may or may not be. The dog is still running loose, Cheryl. Um, uh, this evening we have the 2 Noirs, Edo, Ethereal, Princess, and Sinfandel. Locket, Kaisera, and little baby Mahama are inside. And I tried to put Princess and Ethereal inside, and they weren't having it. Lewis, I don't know if you know Cheryl. Cheryl has been my oldest friend on YouTube. I have known Cheryl for many, many years. She's my top commenter, and she's a beautiful friend, and I love her so much, Lewis. Well, Princess is full. She's listening to something in the woods. Yes, this is a very different setting, but it's okay to change things up. Yes, she is from Chicago. She has a beautiful cat named Twinkie, and she feeds other cats, outside cats. Cheryl, I hope your outside cats were okay with the snow and everything. I know the bad weather is hard on wildcats just running loose, the ferals, semi-ferals. Yeah, I know, Cheryl. It's even cool here. Um, of course, we're going to warm back up and be back in the 60s and 40s at night. But yeah, it's even cool here. Look, Ethereal is listening for something. We have 12 people here. Thank you to the 12 people who are here. Oh my God, Cheryl. I just feel so bad for anything stuck outside. Somehow or another they survive. No, I'll talk about it, Lewis. I can talk about it. It's yeah. I think it needs to be put out there what goes on around here. Yeah, I can talk about it. I did this morning bury Moo, and when my mother passed away 3 weeks ago, um, the emergency services put some sort of lightweight woven blanket on top of her, and they left it here. And I still had that very, like, a thin, lightweight blanket that was on my mother, and I took and I wrapped Moo up in it, and I was just apologized to him. If I'd been home 5 minutes earlier, 5 minutes, I could have probably saved him. And I feel so guilty. 5 minutes, I could have saved him. There's Sinfandel. And even though Kitty was kind enough to call the sheriff's department and they had to come over and do their due diligence of knocking on my door and talking to me, but no action was taken, and they don't take action. They don't. And I talked to a neighbor today who lives closer to this woman than me, saying another neighbor had a small dog missing. And she got to thinking about it, that maybe that dog killed this other person's small dog. No, Lewis, that dog runs from me. But the other night I went outside and went towards the end of the driveway, and he was out there, and he snarled at me. Snarled. But Kitty called and let him know there's a dangerous dog. And they're not going to do anything about it. Oh, this is a bag from the donations from Adam. I just went and I bought a few more things. So this is I bought 2 of these bags just like this, and a case of shredded canned food, because the inside cats eat more of the canned food. What the inside cats leave on their plates, I put out to the outside cats. Yeah, the dog, it snarled at me, but then it mostly likes to run from me. But the thing of it is, I was light on breakfast that morning, and I was going to town to get the food, and they had breakfast, and I said, y'all just wait, and they were meowing at me. I said, I am going to get y'all some food, okay? And Moo died hungry waiting for his food, and he never got it. Moo never got his food, and I felt so bad, and I apologized. Uh, yeah, it was, they're not going to do anything. And I talked to the woman, and she's like this, so sorry. Like I accidentally she bumped into me at Walmart. So sorry. I don't know about that, Lewis. No, Cheryl. No, nothing. And even though the dog tore up a package from my neighbors who are well-to-do, they're not rich, but they're well-to-do. But it did tear up a package that was a Christmas gift for a grandchild. And I figured that to the sheriff's department, that package had more value than my cat. They do not like cats here. Hello, Icon. It's so nice to see you, Icon. I don't know if you've heard about what happened. A dog killed one of my cats yesterday, Icon. But they are cute. That's why we're not at the watering hole today. We are out here in the field. I'm trying to keep them out here away from the road. No, Cheryl, they do nothing. And I had a neighbor call, and some dogs actually bit her son while he was out running. They did nothing. The dog ran out into the road and attacked him. They did nothing. Hey, Adam. This is one of the bags I bought, Adam. I went back today and I bought $66 worth. I got two of these bags, a bag of litter, and a case of canned food. Thank you, Adam, for everything you've done. This is helping me out so much. Oh my God, here's the damn 6-7 crap. Hey, Connie. The dog is still here, Connie. I saw it right after I buried Moo. I buried Moo and I went to sit down in the chair in front of the watering hole and have a drink. And there, that dog came to the end of the driveway, and we were just staring at each other, just a stare off. It's still running loose, Connie. That's why the cats are eating out here as opposed to at the watering hole. And now they're dispersing. So I've got Connie, I've got Lockett and Kaisera and little baby Mahema in the house. Little baby Mahema's in a recovery crate crying. He's not liking it. Yeah, Connie, it's disgusting. Well, the cats didn't eat all their food. There's 21 people here. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I know. I know who donated. You sent me that email list. I know who one person on there, I didn't know their name. Because a lot of times people go by a different name, a different handle on YouTube than what their name is. I had that when Zavera had to have her leg amputated, and people were helping to pay her vet bill, and I didn't know everyone's name. Lockett follows me around. He's underfoot. So he was just so easy to pick up and put in. Ethereal and Princess don't seem to want it. And of course, the black cats I can't touch. We have 15 people here. So it's a nice view of the woods. There won't be a sunset this evening, I don't think, because of the heavy cloud cover. Okay, it's going to buffer some, y'all. Everyone, it will buffer some because of the very heavy cloud cover we have. So do expect buffering. I am so sorry. I apologize for all of that. And, well, now we're just looking at trees. I like trees. Hey, Bruce. Bruce, I'm so sorry I couldn't answer your call. I was driving, and I don't want to get in trouble with the police here because I'm already on their radar because they had to come to my house about a cat. So I don't touch my phone while I'm driving unless it's almost never. It's a rare thing that I touch because it's very illegal to hold a phone in your hand. So I'm so sorry, Bruce. I would have loved to speak with you, but I was going to buy this, Bruce. And I got the cats. They sure did leave a lot. Well, I put out the same amount, but 3 of them are in the house, and one of them is buried in the ground. So I expect them to eat less. Yeah, exactly. A big fine. Hey, new Niffy. Hey, new Niffy, thank you for being here this evening. So nice to see you. So nice to see all of you. I tell you, y'all, I bet you when a call from New York came through to the Jackson Parish Sheriff's Department, they were like, hey, who's this? Why are we getting a call from New York? Oh no. Look at what we have, y'all. You can't have this. This is for the cats. You're cute. We're not sharing. Nope, nope, nope. This was a donation for cats, not a possum. We ain't going that route tonight, possum. Gather everything up. Well, new Niffy, I'm drinking right now, and I have been bawling my eyes out. It was a horrific thing to see. Uh, I've got to get this leftover food in the bag. Now, if y'all want it, I'll feed it to the cats. If you want it, Noir, you can have it, but I'm not letting that possum come out here and eat the cat food. I'm not. And then I bought yeah, the car's out here too. I'm gonna put everything in the. There's my shed, y'all. Everything's going in the shed. Uh, uh, this big case for the inside cats, and another bag. And I haven't even spent $100 of it yet. So to all y'all who donated, and for Adam for doing it, yeah, y'all just don't know how much that's gonna help me, um, or help the cats. Every penny of it's going to cats. I will show receipts. No ifs, ands, buts, or maybes. Receipts will be shown. I'm keeping up with them. If you say if I say everything's going to the cats, it will. Trust me, it will. There's double noirs. They're so hard to tell apart. Uh-oh, they were just had a tussle. Yeah, new Niffy. I have to really get close to tell them apart. But this is Little Noir because her tail isn't as plush. No, no, Bruce. I want to be 100% transparent and open. I want everyone to know if you send me something for the cats, it will be going to the cats. Period. Here's the Cardinals as they're retiring for the evening. Y'all, this is my living room, everyone. I spend more time sitting out here than I do inside. I don't care if it's 110 degrees. I don't care if it's 20 degrees. I spend some time out here every day. This is my safe place. This field is my safe place. Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't want anybody to think that I went out and bought wine with it. And I did buy wine, but I used my own money, y'all. And cheap wine. It was like 3 something a bottle. And it tastes like it was 3 something a bottle. Well, yeah, Bruce, it was horrible. It was horrible. And the thing of it is, once they get a taste for it, they will be back. Back where when me and my husband were married, where we lived, where I lived for 28 years, I used to have a lot of I only got three of them inside, Bruce. Kaisera, Lockett, and Mahama. But we came home from our store. Of course, we followed each other. We pulled in at the same time. And we had about 20 chickens. They were just pets. We weren't raising them for anything. They were pets. We pull up, and there were dead chickens all over the yard. Hello, Susanna. Thank you for being here this evening. So nice to see you. Thanks for stopping by. And the person down the road, it was a young couple in their early 20s, very early 20s. They were very young. Had two half grown German Shepherd puppies who came into our yard while no one was at home and just had a field day of fun destroying my chickens. And if y'all are sensitive, turn it down or something. And we drove up to a yard full of just ripped apart chickens. And they were just doing it for fun, just for fun. Once they do it once, they will come back. They will do it repeatedly. And that's what I'm afraid of is going to happen with the cats. And my husband did what I did. He picked up a chicken. He ran the dogs out of the yard, followed the dogs to make sure where they came from. He followed the dogs with the deceased chicken in his hand and said, "See what your dogs did. See what your dogs did." And I can't say what he said, but he threatened the dogs if they ever came into the yard again. I only had one chicken left after that. Literally one white rooster after all of that. And within 20 minutes, the Union Parish Sheriff's deputy was in our yard saying this man came over and threatened our dogs. He was the one getting in trouble, not the people with the dogs. Absolutely. And I said, I want you to look at my yard. And I took that deputy around my yard. I said, chicken, 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 chicken. And yes, we saw them. Me and my husband both saw them. And they're like, well, you can't threaten somebody. No matter what those dogs do, you can't threaten them. And that's wrong. And we're here to tell you, you can't do anything about it except file a civil lawsuit. Well, these people lived in a ratty, rundown trailer. They were maybe 20, 21 years old at most. At most. They might not have even been able to buy beer. What suing for what? You know, they had no money to pay. And they were like, well, I need a name. Y'all can't do this. Y'all can't threaten them. I said, I didn't threaten anybody. I didn't go over there. And I said, well, I need a name. I got to make a report. And my husband cowered in the house like a coward. And they had to put my name on the report because they had to see a driver's license. And my husband was peeking out, and the cop was like, is that your husband looking out through the curtain? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, why won't he come out? Because he don't want to get in trouble, I guess. And he said, well, what a coward, putting it all off on you. And I said, I want it known. I never said anything to these people. I've never been in their yard. I've never went to their home. I said, yeah, but I just need a name to put on the report. And So the report about the threat had to be in my name because my husband wouldn't come out and show his driver's license. So he can make the threat, but when a cop comes by, he can't come out like a man. Hey, Kitty. Hey, Kitty. Thank you. Kitty, the dog was back today. The dog was back. Kitty. They did nothing, Kitty. They did nothing, Kitty. Nothing. I am out here at the field feeding the cats out here. The cats did spend their time out here. They're afraid to go to the front. God only knows what kind of carnage happened yesterday. That most of the cats stayed out here. Hello, Charity. Hi, Charity. Thank you for being here. So, would Bruce, but I don't want you to get in trouble, Bruce. I do not want you to get in trouble, Bruce. I don't know what it is. No, I think, Adam, there is some sort of instinct to chase small things. You know what? That'll put a target on my back, Kitty. Kitty, I know someone personally that their son likes to run, and the dog bit the son, and nothing happened. They do not care about cats. They would probably wouldn't care if it bit me. Literally, probably would not care if it bit me. Literally. So I just, from my experience of them coming into the yard, taking away every chicken that I had except for one, it makes me think that dog had fun and it wants to come back and have fun again. Well, not necessarily, Kitty, because like I said, I know someone who got bit going down the road. They were out for a run, and nothing. The person who got in trouble was the person who actually got bit. Exactly, Lewis. Lewis just said it. If I knew how to pin comments on here, I would. Lewis just hit the nail on the head. 110 billion%, Lewis. It's a different culture. I think I even said to the cop last night, a bunch of rednecks down here don't. I was calling all these backwoods redneck hicks. I was all wound up. I was crying. He probably thought I was crazy. I'm sure he had his little camera on so he can go show us all his other cop buddies. It's a different culture, Lewis. You're 110% right. Well, the Macmillans were complaining, and the Macmillans are the people across the road are wealthy. They're not wealthy, but they have nice jobs, a beautiful home. From here, I am not from here. I am not from here, and even though this property has belonged to my family for 53 years. I personally am not from here. I am from where my mother was buried. That's where I'm from. I'm from Union Parish, about 70 miles away from here. So I am not a part of the culture here. Unfortunately. And while it's finding the loose kibble on the ground. Exactly, Kitty. Our cat food section is very small. I'll have to, next time I go in to buy some cat food from all of your kind donations, um, show y'all just how small our cat food section is. It is minuscule. And this is the main shopping place for the entire parish, which is the same thing as a county. We do not have counties here. We have parishes, not counties. And yeah. Um, but I do know that the when my husband said don't let those dogs in my yard again, he was the one who had the cops called on him. He's the one the cops came to see. And somebody told me that they have free reign to kill any cats they see at the dumpsters. If people who dump off cats, because that's how they deal with overpopulation here with pets, that they say if they you see cats, to the people who pick up the dumpsters, take them out. So, and they say that it's not, this woman told me who feeds the cats at the dumpsters that she says hopefully that the cats know to run when they hear the trucks coming to pick up the dumpsters. And around here, it's about who you know and who you are. Now, if you're not somebody's cousin or best friend and y'all went to school together, if y'all didn't, that's not my sister or my sister's friend or my neighbor. If you're somebody who is an outsider here, even though I have officially lived here 9 years, I have lived here 9 years since I left my home. Um, and since 1953, they still treat me like I am somebody that ICE needs to come after. Um, yeah, they treat me like let's call ICE agents. She's from Union Parish, a whole 70 miles away. She ain't a native of here in Jackson Parish. I mean, but I just could have seen the face of the dispatchers when they got a call from New York. Literally, it just delights me to think, what? We're getting a call from New York? Oh my God! What? Somebody from New York called us. Oh, they were perplexed and surprised at the same time. Perplexed, surprised, confused, bewildered. Yes, Lewis, exactly. Yay, Kitty. Nope, Adam, you have to know somebody. You got to be somebody's cousin, friend, neighbor. You went to school together. Yeah, I know you. And if you just come here, oh, did you go to school up there, Weston? I'm like, no. I'm from Union Parish. Just moved here. Oh, okay. Oh, Kitty. I bet you they were like, didn't know whether to scratch their watch or wind their butt, Kitty. Kitty, kitty, kitty. I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall for that. Literally, a fly on the wall. Thank you for being here, Cheryl. Everyone, give Cheryl some love. One of my oldest friends on YouTube. My very top commenter ever is Cheryl. Thank you, Cheryl. Connie, my dream is Oregon, and I did talk to a friend of mine last night. He is a retired police officer in Oregon, trying to figure out what, and he told me that the rules were very different in Oregon. If this had happened in Oregon, action would be taken. Um, like Lewis said, the culture is different. The culture is different. They will pull you over for the tiniest infraction. Well, do you know you were going 2 miles over? I need to see your information. Where are you coming from? Where'd you go? What are you doing? Where are you at tonight? What are you like you're a criminal? Um, yeah, Connie, Oregon has been my dream for a very long time. I was so wound up when the cop was here last night. I think I was calling everybody rednecks and backwood hicks. I know these backwoods redneck hicks don't care about my. And I think I asked him if I could use the F word. Would you arrest me if I use the F word? And he said, yep, that's perfectly legal. And I said, that effing dog killed my. And I'm like, I showed him Moo, unwrapped Moo. And, he don't care. He didn't care. He didn't care. But though, it doesn't matter what the law is, Kitty. It um, doesn't matter what the law is. They don't enforce it. They don't care. Um, I had a neighbor who was mentally ill who harassed me and my mother. Okay, I'm going to buffer because it's cloudy. But no, me and my mother were both harassed for years by someone who was mentally ill. Later proven by a court to be mentally ill and had to be interdicted. We had to go to court about it. And when he finally got took into custody and they took him to the psych hold place in Monroe. And the psych hold place called me and they said, tell me about him. Why didn't you do something about this? I said, I have. I've tried. Me and my mother have tried for years. And this is what the person who was his caseworker while he's being admitted into a psych hold told me. If nothing was done about this person before now and you were harassed for that many years, the Jackson Parish Sheriff's Office failed you, failed your mother, and they failed him because this man needed help. And I said, I've begged them to do something. I begged. We've called the police repeatedly, and they did nothing. And this was somebody who was mentally ill, who needed to go to a special place. Hey, Maya, thank you for being here. Unfortunately, Maya, the kitties have dispersed. And they said, they were like telling me, why didn't you do something about this person before? Why didn't you do this? And I'm like, we've called the police repeatedly, over and over and over and over. And one of them actually told me, you don't like it here, you leave. Literally, I stood in my driveway telling about the harassment, and this officer said, what, you don't like it here? You can leave. And I said, well, I'm an only child. I'm taking care of my mother. What about my mother? She can leave too. You just need to get out of here. You and your mama just need to go. If you don't like it, you can just go. And he's waving his arm. I'll use my arm here, like this. Go. You need to go. Like this. Waving around. You need to go. You need to go. I said, where do you want us to go? He said, I don't care if you don't like it here. You need to go. And I said, but this is my mother's property. I said, she has a right to be here. And he's like, well, that's not our problem. I don't know what you expect us to do about it. You can't scare this possum, Newt. But that is literally what he stood in the driveway and told me. You don't like it here? Leave. I said, I'm taking care of my mother. I am an only child. Well, then take her with you. You both just go. I said, this is my mother's home. I said, her family has owned this property since 1953. Well, we don't care about that. You need to go. And that was with a dangerous, and that person almost cost me my life. I was literally inches from death. And I just thought maybe I should I don't know, I thought it might be an interesting video to talk about the day I almost died. Would anybody be interested in hearing about the day old Tranquil almost got it? Because I almost was not here. And I am serious when I say that. Maya, 3 of the cats are inside. Kaisera, the one with the puffy tail. Locket, the big tomcat. And the little tiny Bahama. The rest of them were like, no, we don't want to do this. So anyway, yeah, I want to hear it. My mother's brother had dementia, but it was drug-induced dementia, much younger than my mother. And I was taking care of him for years. But even though he was harassing us and he was destroying our property, and he didn't know what he was doing, he was hallucinating. He was literally hallucinating. And I was taking care of him. On New Year's Day, 2018, I went down there to bring him his food, and I waited for him to open the door. And I was standing there holding his food, and when he opened the door, he greeted me with a loaded double barrel pew pew. I can't say the Gun. It's a double barrel pew pew. And I had to dive for the car to get out of there. I had the car right there at the porch. I dove for the car and gunned it. He was picking that Gun up to, and had his finger on the trigger, aiming it at my chest. And I ducked and dove for the car. So that was my near-death experience. But the thing of it is, I don't care who makes the complaint. Unless you're somebody, they don't care. They do not care. You're nothing. You're nothing to them unless you're somebody they know or higher up. You got to be the Frou Frou house. Oh, we went to school down there at Weston. Oh, we went to school together. Oh, that's my cousin's cousin. Or hey, you live down the road from me. If you're not that here, you ever seen a TV show or you're somebody from New York or California is driving through a rural area and you got out of state plates, they look for a reason to pull you over, and they'll say, "Do you know what you were doing? Do you know how fast you were going?" Yeah, they look for out of state plates to harass people. Yes, exactly, Kitty King. Yep. If you're not from there, don't be going through. Do not be going through. Um, get out of there as quickly as you can. Hey, look, we got a cat back. I know this isn't our usual setting, but this is just going to have to do. Adam's funny. Hieroglyphics. Well, thank you for being here, New Niffy. Uh, uh, Thank you for taking care of your cats. You have a great evening, New Niffy. So yeah, that's so sort of stereotypical. You drive through a town, they don't know you, small town cop. Hey, it's happened to me and my husband. We had to go up to Arkansas to do something for my father. Little bitty pissant town in the middle of Arkansas. And they pulled us over and they're like, son, you know how fast you were going? Did you not speed limit signs that here and there? You didn't see all that? And he's like, well, I don't know. And they took my husband's license and said, son, I want you to drive all the way back out of town and then drive back in, and I want you to tell me precisely where you saw those speed limit signs and what they say. And we had to drive all the way back out of town, drive into town, and tell him where all the signs were located and what they said. And yep. And then they gave my husband his license back. So all that they show on TV about small town cops is not necessarily stereotypical. That's, oh my God, I'm getting a call from John. Anyway, y'all, I'm going to end the stream. It's getting dark. Thank you all for being here. John's calling me on my other phone. I love all of you. Thank you all for being here. Good night, everybody.